Yo, what's up guys? Good day and welcome to the setup video. Alrighty, so here we are in Content Manager. I'm just going to do a quick run through of my settings. So this is how I'm setting up the actual track and everything like that. Just go straight here, click ideal conditions, they'll give you 12 o'clock, clear weather, 26 degrees, 0 wind and optimum track conditions. Ballast restrictor is off. I am set to Hotlap, penalties are on, and then here on the side we see it says Pro and car specific controls. Your car specific controls is pretty much your force feedback settings and everything like that through Content Manager, so I would suggest to just load that up there, click car specific control on, and then you're going to go here to where it says Pro, you've got tire blankets, click your tire blankets on, that just heats your tires up in the pits. So when you do go for your actual run, your tire is going to be hot from word go, which is what you're going to want. Then you click on these three buttons over here. It's going to bring up this side menu. Side menu should be like this stock standard. If it isn't, I'd suggest you just change it to this. This seems to be the best setting so far. Obviously, because we do want you guys to have damage on, this just makes it more realistic for everybody that's involved. Click tire blankets on here and then save the preset. Mine is already saved, so I'm not going to resave it. But yeah, that's that for the actual track settings. We then go through to the mode setup. This is the setup for the actual Escort. And for some reason, I don't know why it's brought my setup like this. Hold up, let's just close that. No, start it again. Sorry about that. Alright, so we're going to just go to setups quickly. Here's your stock tune. Alright, so this is how the car is going to come out. It's pretty wobbly and a bit shit to drive, to be honest. It's not the most fun car to drive on the stock tune. That's mainly because it's really old and the car's got a lot of wobble to it, a lot of weight transfer, things like that. So mainly for the beginning, we're going to start off with the camber. I like to have my camber all the way to the max, just so that I've got the most amount of grip mid-corner. Obviously on your straights you're going to have less tire on the ground, but with these cars not really going that fast, so it's not actually too much of an issue. You need more of the cornering grip, which that does give. And then with your toe, I go all the way to the maximum amount on the toe, so that's going to give you the most turn in that the car possibly has. So your initial turn in for the corner is going to be immediate and really quick. This also helps to control like slides and stuff like that. Let's say you're coming out of a hip and then the car chucks to the side quickly. Your toe is what's going to help you catch that really fast. If you have your toe value on quite low, your car's going to be quite lazy and like not wanting to get into the corners. So I found that maximum is perfect. Well, as perfect as could be, I suppose, for this car. And then your differential or your drivetrain. Look, depending on your confidence, if you're really good at holding rear wheel slides, like we know Dalla is a bit of a champion with the rear wheels, so his diff is probably going to be higher. Just more confidence, and obviously not spinning the car too much. If you feel like you're spinning quite a lot, I would lower this. I sit mine on 20. Now I'm not going to lie, it feels the best for me. And yeah, I don't have too much of the rear end kicking out all the time. So 20% diff for me seems good. On the power, when you got off power, so this is when your car is on overrun. Let's say you third gear, come off the power and it starts to backtrack down the revs, so something like that. The lower this value, the less it's going to engine brake. So your car's going to float a bit longer, if you know what I mean. It's going to keep going a bit more than what you think it should. If this is on the max, as soon as you get off the gas, it's going to start dipping the power immediately and start going boom and start like killing the engine, if you know what I mean. Whereas really low, if you jump off, it's going boom and then it'll start slowing down. So for me, I feel like on 60 it gives that immediate engine brake, which is what I like. Obviously, if you like the car to float a little bit further into in the gear and not actually come down the rev so quickly, then the lower value will be best for you. I find that on 60 it's perfect for me, so I'm not going to change anything like that. I leave that at 60, that's perfect. And then you go to gear ratios. I found that this one is the right setting to be on, mainly because it's not so crazy in third and fourth gear. When you have the fully minimum setting, it is quite hectic in third and fourth. You get a lot of rear happiness from the car. I feel like this gear ratio actually sets the car quite nicely, and you can pump it through the corners and not really have too much rear coming out. So that seems to be good. I feel you don't need 30 liters, you only need 14 to make it to the top. I've done quite a few testings, so let's say I've done it 12 liters, 13 liters, 15 liters. 13 liters you do run out of fuel, 14 liters is perfect, you don't run out of fuel. It does give you a fuel red light at the top here somewhere, but you'll make it to the end, so that's fine. Brake power, I dropped my brake power down to 90, mainly because I want a little bit more stability through the braking sections. If you have this on max, it is going to be intense on the brakes, and the car is going to want to throw itself from side to side. So I would say 90 seems to be a good setting for that. And then brake bias itself, I don't like it so much to the front, because when you do jump on the brakes, you've literally got no steering. So I actually dropped that to about 60%. Too much to the rear and you're going to have a very lively car coming into the corners. It's going to want to throw itself sideways. So 60% seems good. Seems like a lack of value. Right, then your suspension, obviously because it's an old car, and it's very wobbly, suspension's poor, things like that. So when you do hit corners and bumps and stuff like that, the car does throw itself around. Obviously the weight of the car is fighting the suspension. So I'll put those values all the way to the minimum, and you give the car less time to be able to jump up and down and roll around, things like that. So a little bit more stable entry on the corners and the corner itself. Okay, then we go to ride height. My ride height also goes to 0. If you feel like it's too low on the rear, you can ump that 1 or 2, maybe 1 or 2 like so. I do find that all the way minimum is sweet. Seems to be like as stable as the car can kind of be. So yeah, that is that. And then we go down to the tires. You got your vintage GT70 tires. This is the tire that you guys have to use for the run. I have set my tire pressures to 25. I've done a little bit of messing around, like with 35 up on the front or 35s on the rear, and like played around with these quite a bit. So I seem like 25 on each seems to be good. Alright, so we would just go, and then also, yeah, if you're going to be doing your tuning in Content Manager itself, it's going to give you these half values, so like 25.5, and on the fuel it's going to give you that 14.5. The 0.5 you don't actually need. So if you go into the actual race itself, and then click drive, and click onto your setting and actually tune the car on the track, then it'll give you these settings. You'll be able to go straight to 14 liters, 25 straight on the tires. Okay, and then you've got 62 on the brake bias, which you're not able to set for some reason in Content Manager. You can do that though on the track. Okay, so now that that's set up, everything is done. You guys are more than welcome to use this setup. Obviously, what works for some people might not work for others. So for me, this setup really does work quite nicely. I feel quite confident and pretty consistent on the track as well. So it seems to be good. One more thing, just before I end the video, I just want to start up a quick run here, and just give you guys a quick rundown of what we're going to be doing for the actual recordings, things like that, because obviously when you guys do your runs, you're going to have to do your own recording of that run. So Escort, of course, it does an in-game replay. Once you finish with your lap, you can click on the replay button. That will show you your replay for your lap. You'll save that replay. I'll show you now exactly how to do it. So we're going to just load up my tune. As you can see, the car drops quite a lot, so it gets a lot more planted on the ground, doesn't wobble around as much as the standard tune. So if we go drive, as you can see here, when you start your session, right, you're starting literally on the line. So if I pull off, if you look here on the right, okay. But now if you go here and just reset to pit itself, and then when you start now, you can see how much further you are from the actual start line. check. So now before the timer actually starts on the right hand side. So in essence, you're getting a bit of a jump start if you say back to pits. So please, before you guys do your sessions, anything like that, just say restart session. It will save your tune. You won't have to reload your tune or anything like that. The tune stays. You click start again and you'll be back on the front line here. Alright. So only reason I'm saying this is because we are going to need a recording from you guys. So what I would suggest is to just record your laps and keep it in your PCs for if we need it. Sometimes maybe we'll need it for like a video or a replay or something like that, or just to be able to actually see that your times are 100% legit. We might not ask everybody for their replays. It's just something that you'll have on hand in case there's a dispute or anything like that. So you'll replay. Once you replay, it's going to have here on the bottom, you'll have save replay, and you can click your save replay and it'll save your name and whatever else. Click OK and it saves it. Okay, so click OK and then that'll be saved. Okay, and then that'll be your run. Please guys, just for